Tenderness and passion has been lost in society's perception of sex. The same way the dynamic of care, the overarching principle of the divine feminine, has been lost. Now is the time for the re-emergence of the divine feminine principles. In this new paradigm, sexual attitudes follow and become more complete, more in sync with our divine nature. We now must relearn and teach the sacred aspect of sexuality that has been hidden. The act of sexual union and the controlling of our own sexual energy then becomes a catalyst for love and spiritual growth. When a man loses his vital fluid, his semen, he has what's been called the little death. The little death is the common translation from the phrase la petite mort, a popular French reference for a sexual orgasm. The true translation, however, is the brief loss or weakening of consciousness. Upon ejaculation, men lose vital nutrients and minerals. In semen, there's vitamin B6, B12, and E, and the minerals calcium and magnesium. Zinc, selenium, and copper are lost in significant amounts. Frequent masturbation and ejaculation stimulate parasympathetic nervous functions excessively, resulting in the overproduction of sex hormones and neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, dopamine, and serotonin. Because of this overproduction and overstimulation, these chemicals over time actually become less abundant, just like we see with excessive drug use. But more importantly than vitamins is the energetic power the seminal fluid possesses. When men get rid of this fluid, we experience a loss, dampening our creativity, our vitality, and our discipline. This is why many athletes are instructed in the week before a game not to masturbate. The classic self-help author Napoleon Hill actively taught men to save their fluid and, in turn, make their lives better. The reason men who don't ejaculate frequently have higher rates of prostate cancer than men who do is because the masses don't practice the transmutation of this fluid. This fluid sits there rather than being transmuted up through the spine. What once was a subconscious automatic process is no longer in our repertoire. We can teach ourselves, though, how to transmute this energy, and therefore, over time, this process can become second nature. When men can achieve orgasm without ejaculating, then these energies are consolidated and recirculated throughout the body without the harmful short circuit. In a minute, I'll share some tips how to recirculate this sexual energy for men and women. Most of us masturbate to pornography. Most pornography is viewed on a laptop or phone. Scrying is an act of divination that requires a mirror, oftentimes a black mirror, to discover hidden knowledge, receive guidance, or contact entities. Scrying is not inherently evil, but it has the ability to contact positive entities as well as negative entities, what some call demons. When we surf the internet on our laptops and phones, which are black mirrors, we are aligning with the vibrations of whatever content we're watching or reading. The internet is not simply a man-made technology. It's connected directly to the etheric plane, a non-physical subrealm which processes all thoughts and actions. It's been called the Akasha in Hindu thought, hence the name the Akashic Record. The astral light that shoots out of the center of our plane, coming from the black sun, is what this realm is powered by. The internet was initially released as the Ethernet, referring to the etheric plane. Pornography websites are filled with misuse of sexual energy and deviancy, and therefore negative entities can be transferred through way of our black mirrors. Why do you think porn is the most free and easily accessible form of media online? It's not by coincidence. Pornography typically promotes the human body as being purely an object of personal pleasure. Both men and especially women are degraded. The sexual union is rarely depicted as being sacred. Everything we do is a magical act, and watching most pornography is a black magic ritual because it's focusing energy on inverted sexuality, ignoring the sacred aspects of it. Our focus is a vehicle for creation, so if we are to step into a new paradigm where our sacred nature is rekindled, we must focus on creating that sacredness in the space of sexuality. While most women do not ejaculate, women should still preserve their precious vital force. the female sexual energy is still being released and remains dominant in the lower half of the body during sex. Masculine sexuality is penetrative by nature, with more energy release, but feminine sexuality is receptive, drawing in energy. It's crucial that women are aware of this sexual exchange because they're absorbing the vital fluid. When women become addicted to absorbing this release, we call them promiscuous. Sexually promiscuous women aren't simply after sex, but most are unknowingly addicted to this release and absorption. Instead of learning how to channel their own sexual energy and waiting to share it in the heart space of a loving partner, they absorb the energy of others with little or no true connection. This wave of energy is not consistent. It's a high that's experienced during and after sex. Afterwards, it dips, causing problems because the female did not take into account the energy of their partner. This applies to men too, but I'm simply emphasizing that the drawing in of energy is more pronounced in women. Men carelessly releasing their vital fluid is disastrous, the same way that women carelessly receiving vital fluid is disastrous. During sex, along with exchange of fluids, there's an aura exchange. Each time we have sex, we receive a part of our partner's energy into our aura and leave a part of ours into theirs. During sex, we create an energy cord with our partner. Their thoughts, feelings, and desires are left as impressions in our aura, which, unless cleansed, can stay with us. When a person has sex with a variety of people, they're absorbing and transferring a lot of energy and information between many people, and their own auras can get muddied by past traumas and even exchanged negative entities. Sexually transmitted entities are a much bigger and more widespread issue than sexually transmitted diseases. Many of us have heard the saying, never sleep with someone you wouldn't want to be. This is a good rule of thumb, but I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. Enjoy sex with whoever you want, but know it has effects on your energy body. Sex will never be insignificant, no matter what attitudes we choose to adopt. The basis of sexual transmutation is the retention and transformation of the sexual energy, and not just the physical matter. Therefore, this applies to women equally as men. There's many variations of transmutation. One way men and women can circulate sexual energy is with a Taoist practice known as the microcosmic orbit. The microcosmic orbit is a circuit of energy that runs around the body of a sexually balanced individual. It's completely natural, but has been hidden from us. The microcosmic orbit is basically a loop that is made when you touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. The energy runs up the front of your body, through the tongue and roof of the mouth, into the brain, then back down through the back of your body, where it finds its origin in your sexual energy center. Here's how to do it. Sit down comfortably with a straight back and touch the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Visualize an energy current running down from your head, through the tongue down through your chest, then abdomen, and finally into your groin, where the sexual energy resides. You can visualize the opposite as well. Do this while breathing in deep and slow, while holding a pelvic contraction, basically tightening up your lower butt muscles. So while breathing in, visualize energy running down from the roof of your mouth, while gently starting to tense the pelvic muscles. As the energy runs closer and closer to the floor, you tense harder and harder. When the energy hits the pelvic floor, you tense as hard as you can, and at this exact point you have finished your in-breath. If you did it correctly, it feels like you draw in energy straight to your Dantian, your Qi energy center. This should be a single fluid movement, the breath, the energy flow, and the pelvic contraction. As you begin to release the pelvic contraction, breathe out and visualize energy rushing up through the back of your body near the spine. Keep slowly releasing the pelvic muscles, and as your breath is finished, the energy will be back near the tongue, and your muscles completely unclenched. When practiced enough and done correctly, you will feel this become a loop throughout your body. Keep doing this motion over and over again until you feel your sexual energy has been transmuted. This is one of many methods and one that we can learn very easily. By simply visualizing our energy moving up the spine and not conglomerating in the groin, we are already on our way to true sexual freedom. So do some of your own research and find a practice that works for you. During sex, you can create a similar loop with your partner. Set the intention before lovemaking. During sex, intend to focus on the area of your body in which you wish to redirect the energy built up during sex. The best is for both partners to intend to redirect this energy through the heart. Imagine the sexual energy circulating through the heart, connecting with the other, and then moving it back down to the genitals, creating a loop that's similar to the microcosmic orbit. This can take practice, but eventually you'll be able to bring the sexual energy into the heart space, truly connecting heart to heart with your partner. I recommend starting with slow, steady movements instead of harsh grinding. Exploring slower movements and first relaxing into lovemaking supports a blossoming into deeper and deeper levels of sensation. Preparing the space, lighting candles, burning incense, all of this can help with setting the atmosphere. Do what you feel comfortable with. There's no rules, just keep it sacred. The word tantra in Sanskrit means a continuum or unbroken stream of energy. Tantric sex involves slow, gradual movements. I recommend those who are attracted to it to learn about tantric sexual practices, which, when done correctly and with a loving partner, illuminates the psychogenesis aspect of sex, representing the merging of the divine feminine and masculine energies, creating transcendent love that goes beyond the merging of bodies. Our sexual energy is our own fountain of youth. Learning to control this rejuvenating energy heals the body and illuminates the spirit. And most importantly, during sex, the more we open to love, the more we feel the energy run through our physical and subtle body. So, to sum up this video, we can intend to move forward in our sexuality by limiting pornography, clearing ourselves of toxic beliefs towards sexuality, learning transmutation, and connecting heart to heart with our partners. Some may choose a life of celibacy. Some may impose short or long periods of celibacy on themselves. Not having sex for certain periods of time can help one harness their own sexual energy before combining it with somebody else's. Honestly, you can do whatever you want. The great thing about life is our ability to cultivate it however we choose. Personally, I choose to cultivate sacred sexuality.